Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Vektor Cast. I am Monks, your host, with my beautiful, beautiful co-host, Mr. Illing. How are you, dude? My international scholar.
I'm very well, monks. I'm very well. I mean, I just gotta say, I think we're in for a hell of a CDL season. I really do.
I
I
love
just wanted
that.
to say that straight out of the blocks because,
I love that.
I mean, we'll get into it, but I mean, this season's been something else so far. Games are phenomenal. Everyone's playing at a high level. Anyone can beat anyone right now. So,
It's a little up in the air. And this is this Vektor Cast. We talk a lot of CDL, a little bit of other gaming news, a little esports news, sprinkle in every regulars news every now and then. Sometimes we'll talk beer. Who knows?
I mean, whatever happens, happens.
You never know what's gonna happen.
We kind of go off the cuff here on the Vektor Cast.
It's live, unscripted. Check us out on Twitch, YouTube, Spotify, all the platforms. Whew, man, this weekend, how was it?
I mean, so I unfortunately I was not able to watch Sunday's games. I had a conference the whole weekend, so I mean, I wasn't able to watch Sunday.
Conference kid. Oh, CFO stuff?
Yeah, just CEO stuff.
I don't need to get into
no,
it.
No,
right
it
now.
doesn't. We don't. We'll talk about it. Yeah. So I wasn't able to watch CDL games on Sunday. I did catch up on them obviously and watch them back. But I mean, still, the games were unreal all weekend again. Teams are really going at each other.
I like watching them back. You can fast forward through things,
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of just watch the gameplay rather than all the analysis and commentary that goes on.
Exactly.
I am someone who likes the analysis and commentary though, so
gotta get your notes in.
Yeah, I gotta sort of get my feelers for what's going on.
New shirt?
Yeah,
you got shirt. It. Oh, okay.
The little
dude.
6 Twitch on that one as well. But yeah, you got the little kitty.
Look at how long this cat is, dude.
That's a long cat, bro.
My bad. Little intermission.
All right,
the cat jumps.
Let's get into it. Straight into CDL Major 2, Week 1 of the qualifiers. Mugs, what do you think? What do you think of the games this weekend? You enjoy them?
Nuts. First off, shout out to Seattle Surge, dude. Taking out Faze again?
Yeah, it's 4 times in a row now.
Again? Do they have their number? What's going on?
Have lost Seattle Surge. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I mean, look, I will always say this.
But then Boston Breach.
Never write off Faze.
Beat them up.
Faze are going through something right now.
That's what I wanted to get into.
They are going through something. That was definitely one of my topics for today, is talking Atlanta Faze. What is going on with them right now? I mean, these guys are the best players in the world. I mean, going off last year, yes, I know, different game and everything like that.
Sure.
But they are the best players in the world. They are the world champions.
Yeah.
This year, they started off strong in Major 1 in the qualifiers. They went 5-0. Everyone was like, oh, here we go again, Atlanta Faze dominance.
Yeah.
They then lose to Optic twice.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just like, okay, so are Optic just a really good team or a Faze? Faze just have an off couple of days.
Yeah. I don't know,
and
man.
Then, I mean, this week, I mean, yes, it was 3-2. It was a close game.
But they were up 2-0. Or no, it was 1-1.
Once again, was it 1-1 or?
Yeah, it went 1-1. Because I just rewatched,
Faze went 2-1 up, right? Didn't they?
And then no, it was 1-1. And I think Seattle won like Search on Tuscan.
Right.
I went round 11. It was pretty intense, and they ended up pulling out that. And then they were up 2-1, and it was a good matchup, but I don't know what's going on with Faze, man.
I think Faze are. I mean, I did see a tweet from Arstes after that game, saying that he's really not having fun on this game, and that he's just struggling. Honestly,
I thought he played pretty well.
Which, I mean, he is playing well, but it's Arstes. Like Arstes, if he can not be having fun on the game, but like he still fries.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I think it's a major thing. Is like, to be the best team in the world, you have to enjoy yourself playing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't, and I, with players saying they're not enjoying how competitive, like the competitive play in Call of Duty right now, I think it's slightly worrying.
It's kind of the
'Cause it's
maps, I
not,
feel like.
it's not just Arsties saying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I think you got to bring in another control map. Call of Duty have to do that. They've
Yeah.
got to find another map. They've got to
Something's
build a
going on
map
with the maps, yeah.
that is good enough for control. Because two maps, I mean, you're either playing Gavutu or Tuscan. It's
Kind of stale.
it's kind of
And then
stale.
they ban one, like
Right,
the whole
and
series is Tuscan.
they usually ban Tuscan,
Yeah.
or teams will have their preference. They either
Yeah.
ban Tuscan or they ban Gavutu. It's
Yeah.
just like you got to have something else in the mix. So I mean, I'm hoping that Call of Duty do implement another map for control. Um, but I mean, there's a lot going on right now. I mean, the other big team I wanted to talk about that is really just I don't know what is happening with them. New York Subliners.
Yeah.
Obviously they made the roster change on Friday, before the weekend. Sorry, on Thursday before the weekend. They brought back Neptune from the bench, dropping Royal Eyes
Yeah.
to the bench. And it just didn't click. It
It's not
didn't
like
click this
meshing.
weekend.
But I mean, Hydra's still nasty. Like,
Hydra is
he's
nasty, but like,
insane. I
and
was
the
just
thing
watching
is, you've
some of his
got two
clips.
of the best players ever to play the game in Clayster and Krim on that team, but something is just not working there. I
It's almost
mean,
like they don't speak the same language or something. Like,
to
what's
lose
going on?
3-1 to London, I know London are on a real hot streak. They're playing some really good Call of Duty right now. And then to lose 3-0 to Florida, who honestly have kind of had their own struggles starting this
Yeah.
season. So
They're also real streaky, it seems like. It seems like
yeah, I mean, I definitely will say I think Florida are finding form. They're
yeah.
starting to get into a groove now. I mean, obviously they beat the Gorillas 3-0, then beat New York 3-0. Obviously, two teams who are at the lower end
Yeah.
of the table this year so far. But I mean, it's just like I think there's something not right there. And I think they were hoping that maybe it was Royal Eyes that was the issue.
Mhm.
But I don't think it is. I don't think Krim and Clay are really working that well together.
Maybe.
Obviously, it's been a while since they were on the same team. And I mean, I just don't know. Maybe you've got two kind of egos in that team who are going up against each other. Because, I mean, both Clay and Krim have huge egos.
Huh. You need
So, I
somebody kind
mean,
of mesh them together.
right, you
Mellow them
need
out a
someone
little
who's
bit.
going to control that situation. And Hydra's not that person. Hydra's quiet. He just fries.
He
That's what he
just
does.
fries. He's just a machine.
He's just a machine.
Dude.
But he's not that kind of guy who's going to get him with Clay and Krim and go, guys, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
Like let's calm,
It's a
let's play.
win.
Like he's not going to do that.
Maybe they'll figure
So
it out
it's
next
going to be
week.
interesting to see if New York Subliners can sort out their season because at the moment it is looking dire for them. They are in a really bad situation. They've only picked up 10 points on the whole season so far, which is literally one win. So they have one win all year, same as Paris Legion. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they've won one more map than Paris, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those like you've got to pick it up somewhere.
I was watching a little bit of the Paris game and I got into a YouTube comment. Is it true that they picked up some guy just from a pub match? Or that's just a YouTube comment being crazy?
I think everything it was a YouTube
What was
comment
his
being
name?
crazy,
Like,
trying to say that like they're
was his
bad
name Jim or
basically.
something? One of the guys, he was just like, "Did you just get this guy from a pub match?" I was like, "Oh, there's hope. Maybe I can get Paris too."
Hey, get up those rankings, monks. You never know.
I gotta grind a little bit more.
You gotta keep grinding, bro. But I mean, in all fairness, I mean, I did say that I don't think Paris are gonna not win a game this qualifiers.
Yeah.
Obviously, they did lose to Minnesota and they
And-
lost to Gorillas this week.
Yeah,
I really thought they were gonna beat the
loss.
Gorillas.
That's a tough loss against the Gorillas.
I mean, to get swept by the Gorillas is
I
not
know.
ideal.
That's not it. That's scary right there.
The thing is, next week, I think they might go 1-1 because they play Ravens, who I think Ravens will win that. I'm pretty sure. Ravens are on really good form right now.
They're playing. Yeah, they're playing well.
But then they play New York. So it's two teams right at the bottom going up against each other.
Well, that's good.
I think that's gonna be a really good game. I'm gonna back Paris for that. I will back Paris when we do our pick'ems a bit later on. I will back Paris because I think, honestly, over the whole sort of like over the as a whole, I think Paris are a better team than New York are right now.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they might get it together over the week. I mean, I major one, I backed New York pretty heavily and kind of blew up in my face a little bit.
Oh, 100% it did.
What did you end up getting last week in your pick'ems?
So I got 22 points, so I was pretty happy. I only got 3 games where I got picked the wrong team.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't get
Faze?
many spot-on scores. Obviously, I had Faze to beat Seattle,
Yeah.
which I might not do again if those two teams come up against
It's
each other.
very strange, man, because I mean, Boston whooped up on Seattle the day before,
Yeah,
and Seattle just comes around and smacks around.
yeah, I know. I mean, those rookies seem to they turn up for Faze. I guess that's what it is.
Well,
I also had the London.
Sib, wasn't he like a Phase backer? I think I heard.
He was Faze's sub player last year.
Yeah. That's he might be
Yeah.
something there. He might, he knows.
Oh,
how to...
100% it probably is. He's
Yeah.
trying to prove them that. I mean, he should have been in that roster, which is very difficult to do. Let's be honest with those players.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other 2 games I got wrong. I backed Paris to beat the Gorillas.
Yeah, that's coin flip, really.
Yeah, I mean, it ended in a 3-0 to the Gorillas, but I think that game was actually a lot closer than the scoreline suggests.
And then what was yours? The Thieves Ravens?
Yeah, and then I had the Thieves to beat the Ravens,
which is 3-0 surprising because I mean
I did not expect a 3-0, and the Thieves actually looked. I don't want to say average because they're still above average as a team.
Yeah.
But they didn't get it together this weekend.
It's weird because then they play Optic the next day, and it was 3-2.
Right. Which I mean, I actually got that spot on that prediction.
Yeah.
The double points, the marquee match. I went 3-2 Optic. I backed the Optic boys, and they won. So I got 6 points from that. I also got 6 points from the Ultra Rocket game the day before. So
kind of interesting.
Both those marquee matchups, I got it completely right. So
the double points from the Game Fuel.
The Game Fuel marquee match. I'm not really a Game Fuel kind of guy. I'm more of a Gatorade, honestly.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be getting hydrated with Game Fuel. I think it's more of a
it's
caffeine,
more energizer.
Right? Energy
It's kind of like sort of sends those electrodes around your brain, I think. So
yeah, it makes you smarter, I think. What they call it, win in a can, I think is when they.
Yeah, I think I do say win in a can. Which I mean, maybe I'll have to start trying it. You know,
never know.
I wonder if it works for us mortal players.
The normal, some norms.
Yeah, the kind of bottom of the barrel players.
What is it when So how come some people have their cameras up and some didn't on these events? Do you have
sometimes to it's I don't think you do for LAN events. You don't technically have to have it up. Most players do because they're used to it.
Yeah.
But some players don't. Like I know Hydra tends not to when he's on
yeah, when they're on doing it like Wi-Fi or whatever.
When they're on the Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a specific reason why they do it.
Yeah.
Why they don't have the camera on. I feel like honestly it should be something that the CDL should say you have to.
Yeah, right? Because I was wondering why, because I was watching the Faze game and Celium didn't have his on, and I was like, I wonder if there's a rule like 3 of the 4 have to, or
possibly
something.
Maybe that's what it is. But
maybe
I've seen
like
it before where there've only been like 2 cameras on, so it could be something technical. It could be I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's always tricky.
But I mean, I think the biggest surprise for me this weekend really was London Royal Ravens. I think they looked the best team this weekend by a fairly long way.
Really?
I mean, I really do. I think they're a great team this year. I think they got a chance of winning at least one major. Obviously, as always, you can't write off Faze,
I
but
mean, they're playing
and
Faze this
Optic are a
weekend.
very good team as well. But it's going to be an interesting one to see that matchup between the Ravens
Yeah,
and the Faze,
I think that'll.
which is obviously a rematch of the Elimination Bracket 4 from the Major 1.
Major one, yeah. They
So
flip
it'll
it
be
up.
interesting to see, will the Ravens bounce back? Will they find a way to beat them? Basically, the way to beat them is by not letting them play Bocage Hardpoint. Because they are just phenomenal on Bocage.
Yeah, it's crazy how it's only like you're only playing like you can do a whole series and really only play 2 maps. Like you can play Tuscan,
Mhm.
Search and Destroy, Control, and Tuscan Hardpoint. And it's like it kind of does get a little stale watching the same map.
It does, and I think the CDL realized that, and I think they are looking to bring in more maps. Obviously, Casablanca was tested, the new map that came in this season. It was tested, and the pros basically said it wasn't good enough to be in the CDL as a
Okay.
map. Um, Obviously, there's a lot of things that's taken into consideration with the maps
Sure.
before they get actually put into the CDL. So, which I have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
But the pros basically said that it wasn't good enough. So,
Wasn't it?
we're not going to see Casablanca in the CDL this year.
But you
A
never know.
lot
They
of
could go off the
people
cuff
they could.
and be
They
like,
could, I think they're gonna
doesn't
bring
matter.
in. I think they're gonna bring. I think we might see a remake of an old map come back that was previously used in the CDL. Maybe from the Modern Warfare times. I think maybe we could see a remake of one of those
Oh
maps.
yeah, because they were doing that
Maybe
last
Hackney
season.
Yard. Hackney Yard could come back. The one thing I'd say about Hackney Yard, which I've seen a lot of Call of Duty fans saying they want Hackney Yard back for the CDL, is that with Vanguard, I feel like it plays a lot quicker than the Modern Warfare did, multiplayer wise.
It does kind of
So
feel like that, doesn't it?
I feel like if they were going to bring back Hackney Yard, they'd have to expand it, make it bigger. Because I feel like it might just be a little too small. And it wouldn't be a control map, that's for sure. But it's just a little too small for that. For a CDL game because obviously of how quickly they move around the map.
Yeah. Do you think it's just the players and like technology and everything getting better? You know what I mean?
I think it is. I think it's also the way the game changes over the
Yeah.
years. I mean, obviously they try and make every Call of Duty slightly unique, which isn't a bad thing, obviously. But it does change the pace of the game. It changes how players play. It's why you can be the best in the world on one game, and then the next year you could be you could be not good at it at all.
I mean,
I was going to
that's
say
kind of what's
bottom of
going
the
on with
barrel,
Faze.
but they're CDO players, so they're never going to be bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it's that thing from year to year. The CDO changes, games change, and I mean it's an interesting one. But I would definitely like to see some more maps come in over the. I mean, they've got to move quickly with it, really.
Yeah. It needs to happen
Because
soon.
obviously we're nearly at
Major
Major
two.
2.
Yeah. Couple
So
weeks
if
away.
they're going to do it realistically, we need it latest at the end of Major 2. We need a new map if we're going to bring one in.
Yeah. Major 3, 4, and then champs. Yeah. I mean, how often do you think these guys play? Like, you think they're playing every day, like 8 hours?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. They're
I
either
mean,
playing
who are they
scrims or
playing
they're playing
against?
ranked. I mean, I see a lot of the CDL boys playing ranked a lot of the time.
Yeah.
They live stream themselves playing ranked. Scump does it all the time. And when they're not, they're in team practices where they'll play scrims against other CDL teams.
Okay. Okay. I was wondering if you could do that
Yeah,
with
no,
another
no,
team.
they do it fairly often.
Yeah. It helps everyone
Obviously,
get
teams
better.
tend not to give too much away. It's more just to keep warm during the week,
Sure.
to keep sort of keeping the aim and everything like that. Because obviously, once you come up against these ranked demons, let's say, I mean, they're going to be playing weird angles. They're not going to be playing kind of the angles you'd expect in the CDL. So it's not really too
That's true. That's probably two different
similar.
worlds.
Yeah, oh, 100%. I'm sure it is.
Especially when you're like a 4 stack
And I mean, you
compared
just
to.
watch it. You just watch
Yeah.
it. Watching the CDL compared to watching ranked, it's a complete different game.
Yeah.
I saw an absolute disgusting spot from Celium though over the weekend on Kavutu. where you're up on P1 and you can jump on a box and actually look through the barbed wire and shoot down towards the tank down on
Yeah.
the beach, and that's disgusting.
Okay.
It's absolutely disgusting.
You'll be there later tonight.
I'll be trying to use that spot later tonight. That's for sure.
I was like when I was playing in the mornings a couple last week. I was really just using the MP40, but I really should on mouse and key. I probably should use the AR and try to pick people off from far away. But
Get that automation out.
yeah, that's more inside baseball. Then what we got? We want to do these pick'ems, my friend?
Yeah, why not? Let's go into the pick'ems. So obviously, week 2 is this weekend, starting on Friday. So you got 3 games Friday, 4 games on Saturday, and then 3 games on Sunday.
Game Fuel. No Game Fuel games of the week? What's going on?
No Game Fuel marquee matches this week.
Holy
no,
moly.
wait, they actually. So what they usually do is they actually enter that a bit later on in the week.
probably
So
tomorrow.
like Thursday, that will be probably updated. Most likely, it's probably going to be the Ultra Faze game is going to be the marquee match, and I'd say probably looking at the Saturday games, it's probably going to be Texas Florida. I'd say will be that marquee matchup. Maybe Toronto versus Breach, but I doubt they're going to give 2 games to the Ultra for the marquee match. So it'll probably be Optic against Florida will be that first marquee match on the Saturday. Okay, or they could do it with the Ravens Faze. That's definitely I think marquee match on the Saturday for me anyway.
Set the alarm.
Set the alarm 3 p.m.
Saturday. Boom.
Eastern on Saturday. So should be a fun one. Anyway, let's get into it. So Friday, we start off with a good one. Paris Legion, London Royal Ravens.
You gonna get him? Doing Paris, right?
I'm not doing Paris. Are you kidding me?
What do you mean?
I'm going 3-0 London Royal Ravens.
3-0?
3-0 London Royal Ravens, yep.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Optic Texas, Seattle.
The Ravens look too strong this year for Paris. I think, like I said earlier, I think the Ravens are going to be a team that's going to be right up there at the end of the year. And I'm excited to see what this team could do. Obviously, this week and last week, Gizmo had to go home for personal reasons, so we wish him all the best. Pool H stepped in, and it looked like he never left the CDL. I wouldn't be surprised, maybe. I think that's something that maybe we could look at. New York Subliners possibly could pick up Pool H. I think he'd be a very good player for that team, and he'd probably fit in pretty well there. So that's just my insight after Gizmo comes back after this weekend. So okay, so the second game, Optic Texas, Seattle Surge.
I think it's gonna be a tight one. I mean, I don't know though. It's very strange. Like Seattle Surge shows up against FaZe, but I mean, I think it's gonna be 3-2. Optic is what I have going on.
I've gone 3-1 Optic.
Okay.
So I agree. I think all the maps will be really close though. I don't expect Optic to walk away with this one. I think that Surge are a team of rookies this year, so they're gonna be fighting for every game. But I just think Optic they're good this year. They're a very good team. So
yeah. I mean, maybe they're coming off that high, beating FaZe. I think hopefully they build off of that and keep going.
And I don't think this is. I'm by no way saying that Surge won't be probably in the top 8 for the bracket this major. I think they will be. I think they need to. They need to have that. They need to be in that winners bracket.
Yeah, so sort of easier,
give themselves 2 games basically.
Yeah.
On land, because I mean, last time didn't really work out for them.
No.
But they need those 2 games. They need that backup. Which teams at the bottom, basically, it's a one and done if you
they have a harder
if you're
time
in that losers bracket straight away. Okay, so game 3, Boston Breach, Minnesota Rockya.
Ooh. So what I have right now is Boston 3, Minnesota 2. That's what I'm thinking, but 3-2s don't really happen that often.
They do and they don't. They happen in the games you don't expect them to, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, 3-2 is always a pretty good scoreline to go with because, I mean, realistically, even if you only pick up the 2 points, it's not bad at the end of the day. So
Nah, that's not it. I think it's gonna be 3-0 Boston.
you know, 3-0 Boston. I've gone 3-1 Boston.
Okay.
I think the Rocket are improving every game. I mean, I
The only thing that scares me.
they've got a tough weekend. They've got a tough weekend coming up for the Minnesota Rocket.
Yeah.
They've obviously got Boston and then LA on the Sunday, so it's going to be tough for them this weekend.
But 3-2 against Paris, like, come on.
I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, squeak that one by, but it's like Boston's not is a different beast.
Boston, Big Cap and his kids are frying right now, and
Ryan.
I really like the look of Boston. I don't know this year if they've quite got what it takes to challenge right at the top. But they're definitely going to be one of those mid-table teams for sure.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stick 3-0. Then here you
Okay.
go.
So moving on to the
Faze.
Saturday. I think this is the biggest game of the weekend. I think this game is going to decide who. I say who's going to pick up the number 1 seed, but obviously Atlanta Faze currently sitting at 0-1. But probably who's going to pick up the 1 seed going into this weekend? Major 2.
Yeah.
So it's London Royal Ravens, Atlanta Faze. What you got here, Monks?
I mean, I'm going 3-2 Faze. I still have faith in my boys down here. I got faith in them, but if they don't win this one, I don't think it's panic button, but they need to have some pep talks or something. They gotta do something.
So I'm backing my boys from London. I'm
upset
going
alert.
3-2 to the London Royal Ravens.
A little upset alert?
I'm going for an upset alert. I think I think Faze are going to be hurting. And yes, usually when Faze hurt, they bounce back and demolish teams. But I think London might have them this week. They played some exceptional Call of Duty last weekend, and with that same lineup coming into this weekend, I don't expect anything different.
I mean, that'd be huge for them if they could. You already have 3-2 or what?
3-2 to London Royal Ravens.
Okay. Yep. Another upset alert right here, right? Paris versus New York.
I don't even know if this could be classed as an upset. I mean, this game has got draw written all over it. Let's be honest. These are and like I said, Paris have been improving. They've been starting to get it together. I mean, they're still not finding the wins, but they're starting to get it together inside of games.
Yeah.
The issue is they're not converting right now. I could see this as a major catalyst for Paris to start actually winning games. Because they're going up against a team that has literally zero confidence.
Yeah.
Subliners are they technically on paper they are the worst team in the league right now. And I mean, I think Paris are going to take advantage of that. Paris have a good team. It's
they're
a young team. And it's a team that's going to be there for a couple of years, and they're just going to grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
So I am going to pick Paris Legion, and I'm actually going to pick Paris Legion to sweep them.
Sweep them. Get the broom out. 3-0. Whew. That's what I had right now, but I don't know, man. Yeah. I'll stick 3-0 because they did me dirty in the majors. Did me dirty.
You're never going to trust New York subliners.
Put a little salt in my mouth.
Hey, in fairness, every team messed me over in the major, so
that's why you're not back in the Gorillas.
My bracket was chalked day one. Okay, so third game on the Saturday,
I think
we
this
see
could
Optic
be the
Texas taking on the Florida Mutineers.
I think it's
Florida coming off a great weekend with double sweeps. Optic coming off a strong weekend as well, beating obviously the LA Thieves. So I mean, it's where are you going with this one? Because I honestly, this is my toughest game to pick all weekend.
I kind of want to just do something just for fun and have Florida win.
You want to go Florida to beat Optic? Interesting.
Just for some fun skis, you know.
Give me some fun.
Give me something to do. Maybe I'll.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna be honest. I'm in the business of points. So I'm back in Optic Texas here.
You're not doing that.
And I'm gonna go 3-1 Optic Texas.
Yeah, you think 3-1?
Yep.
I'm thinking 3-1 the other way.
I respect it. I think,
Florida.
like, don't get me wrong. I think Florida are a very good team.
Yeah.
And they're starting to really get it together now. However, I just think Optic are too strong right now.
I think they're gonna show up.
They are on form. They are the best team in the CDL right now.
They are gonna show up.
Okay, so that last game on the Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Toronto Ultra, obviously finally winning a hard point last week. They finally did it.
Yeah, I told you they were gonna.
Not only did they win one, they won two.
They're gonna get their hard points in. They're gonna start playing.
I told you that I knew it would happen. I knew that was the one thing they needed to work on, because the rest of their gameplay they were playing very well. Obviously, I mean they beat Rockya 3-1. They did lose that S&D. So it's gonna be a close one this weekend.
Yeah.
I think Boston are a good side. But I like the look of Ultra right now. But do I like them enough to take them over Boston? Because I like the look of Boston a lot.
Yeah.
I think I do, honestly. I think I'm going to take Toronto Ultra, but I think it's going to be very close. I'm going to go 3-2.
Yeah.
Toronto.
I mean, that's the best thing. Like right now, the CDL, we're all like all these games could be 3-2. I mean, most of them I have as 3-2, which is I commented on your tweet last week with your pick'ems.
You commented on it last week.
I was like, a lot of 3-2s. I don't know, buddy.
And actually, yeah, not a lot of them actually were 3-2. We only had 3 games last week that finished 3-2.
Yeah.
And none of them were the ones. Actually, one of them was the one that I predicted to be 3-2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's good though.
The thing is, it's fine margins in the CDL. I mean, let's be honest. There are very few games where it's more than 40 to 50 points in a hard point.
Yeah. I mean,
there's very few games where it's 6-0 in Search and Destroy. And then when it comes to Control, I mean, Control's a lottery at the end of the day.
It's all about the kills, really, on Control.
Which
gotta play your life.
I don't know when that change is actually going to be implemented. Where it will be how many points are captured rather than kills that will lead to that defense on round 5.
Oh,
that is being implemented soon. We just don't really have a date of when that's going to happen.
Interesting. Okay, so I think I'm going to take Boston on this one.
Okay.
3-2 versus Toronto.
Like I said, I can respect that. I think it's going to be a tough game. It could go either way, honestly.
I mean, we don't even have to talk about this next one. That's Saturday's list. Sunday first game.
3 OCL Surge. Yeah.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Yeah, Gorillas are awful. Second game.
You think they just need a logo change? Is that what it is?
I mean, I think they've honestly got one of the better logos in the league, honestly. They just need a team change. They need to change. They need to make a roster move. Because something's not really working in there. Asim is nasty. He's nasty. He's a great player, but he's just not getting that backup, and it's not every game he turns up as well.
Yeah.
He's been very inconsistent so far this season. When he turns up, he absolutely goes off and drops 45 to 50 kills. He really does pop off, but I mean, he's just inconsistent. He'll do that one game, next game he'll drop 9 and he'll go like 9 and 28.
Yeah.
It's just 13. That inconsistency with Asim right now. So if he can find consistency and his other teams can start to fry a little more, then I can start seeing Gorillas improve. But right now I don't see it.
Don't see it at all. 4:30. What you got? Sunday.
Oh,
where are you gonna be?
I'm back in. I'll be sitting at this desk watching the LA Thieves.
Yeah.
Win over Minnesota Rockya 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Minnesota will win an S&D, but I think the Thieves will get their respawn back on point, and and win that.
I have the exact same thing. I mean, Minnesota. I mean, they need to start turning up. The majors coming
I
to
mean,
town.
Minnesota are the team are a team that they could do it at any time.
Yeah.
They can turn up at any time. Especially someone like Priester. We spoke about him the other week.
Yeah.
Priester is someone who, I mean, he's played at the top level. He's played in the top team. He can pop off at any time. But if you shut down Priester and you shut down Standy, where the Rocky get their game from? Honestly. So.
Oh, yeah. Last game of the weekend. Faze Ultra. Definitely game fuel, as that's got to be the game fuel of the
That will
Sunday.
be game fuel marquee match Sunday
double
evening.
Points. Gotta be smart about
double
this
points.
one. Faze gonna are they gonna be back on track?
Okay, so here's
you
what
already
I'm
have
saying.
them losing to Royal
I have them
Ravens.
losing to London.
Yeah, so they're gonna be playing angry. Hopefully,
so I have them losing 2 in a row.
Do you have them losing 2 in a row?
I have, because they lost last week. So technically, yes. If I have them losing to the Ravens.
Yeah.
So do I have them losing 3 in a row?
row?
Do I think that Atlanta Faze will let themselves lose 3 games in a row, or do I think if they do lose on the Saturday, this will be an absolute bloodbath?
A 3-0
sweep? I think it will be an absolute bloodbath. And don't get me wrong, Ultra are not a bad team.
Yeah,
they're not a bad team at all.
Well, you have them beating Boston the day before.
I gotta say, if I'm going by my predictions, I see a Faze 3-0 here because they're gonna be
playing angry.
They're gonna be playing angry.
Okay.
And they're gonna take it out on Ultra.
I mean, I hope so, because I mean they need to do something. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's like call the cops alarm, but
no, not at all. Not at all. I don't think that Faze are in a position where they need to start worrying.
I also don't like it when
I think
the captain's saying he's not having fun playing the game. That's not cool.
Right. I think they need to start enjoying playing.
I mean, they were laughing.
And I think that with Crowder coaching them, Crowder will get them back to enjoying playing. Just because that's how Crowder is. But I mean, right now, Faze are in a position where they don't really find themselves very often, which is not winning.
Yeah, just not winning.
Yeah.
They're usually not in that position of not winning. Yeah, I mean.
So you have got 3-0 Faze as well on the Sunday?
I'm gonna do 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
Yeah, 3-1.
Right. So that is it for our week 2 predictions.
You save your prediction?
I think it's definitely going to be a very good weekend of Call of Duty once more. If you do not watch the CDL, I would highly recommend it. It is quick. It is the best players in the world going up against each other.
It's a great platform to watch. You can hang out and chat, talk to people.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can just do what I do and
full screen it.
Close chat.
Yeah.
So I don't have to see all the skirts going around. But I mean, you've got great analysis as well. So if you want to learn more about gameplay, the CDL is a great place to learn.
Yeah, bring it into your rank.
Those guys break it down. They talk about like little spots that players use, and you're just like, maybe I could bring that into my own game. So definitely recommend watching the Call of Duty League.
A lot of prone time. A lot of guys are going prone, watching an angle, and I need to do that more. I slow it down a little bit.
I need to start slowing it down. I think in my gameplay, I just I use an AR. Use an AR, so I should be doing exactly what they're doing and holding angles.
Yeah.
But I'm not, and I'm getting
running to the point, dying, running to the hard point. Mm-hmm. Well, it also depends on who you're playing with. You know, if I was playing with randoms, that's
the thing. When I play with Metro, I can kind of hold back a little bit because I know Metro is going to be the one on the time. He's going to be the one doing the fragging.
Yeah.
So I can just sit back and pick people off as they try to get to point.
And get some.
Whereas Metro's in there getting the kills. So me and Metro are working really well together as in ranked. It's a lot of fun. We're moving up the rankings. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where you at?
Well, I'm still at Advanced 2 because I wasn't able to play all weekend.
You were working.
Because I was at a work conference. So yeah, lots of fun. Plenty of alcohol. I'll say that. But
You still recovering a little bit? You're like, man,
a little
that beer
bit,
I'm
little
drinking
bit
right
still
now is
recovering. I mean, 3 days of drinking is
yeah, not for the faint of
yeah,
heart.
it's not for the faint-hearted. Obviously, stay responsible, drink safely.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so before we move on from the CDL, I just want to talk a little bit about how the rankings look at the moment. Um, so obviously, Optic Texas is currently sitting on top with 105 points. Sitting right behind them, though, on 100 points, Atlanta Faze and London Royal Ravens. So both those teams sitting right
Oh,
behind Optic
okay.
Texas.
That's why you were talking about that's probably the game of the week. I don't know.
I think it is. I think FaZe Ravens is game of the week for me. Fourth place currently sitting out is the LA Thieves, sitting on 60 points.
Huge.
They need to get back to winning ways this weekend for sure. After last week going 0-2, not the best start to the weekend, or to the qualifiers, I should say. Also in fifth, tied with them on 60 points, is Toronto Ultra. Who are starting to find form, especially in hard points, which
Yeah.
is definitely going to help them this season. In sixth place, Boston Breach sitting in that mid-table position.
After this weekend, they're gonna be up there now.
You think? Well, after your predictions, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, but so how it works with the CDL points, I should have probably explained this. So in the qualifiers, each win is 5 points. So if you get 2 wins on a weekend,
10
you're
points.
getting 10 points.
Yeah.
So then when it comes to the major, the points start to increase. You get more points for where you place in the major, and how many wins you get during that major run. So sitting in seventh place is a 3-way tie between the Florida Mutineers, the Minnesota Rockya, and Seattle Surge. I expect Surge to start pushing up the rankings a little bit. And I honestly expect Florida to as well. So they're both going to start.
Florida upset alert. Check my pick'ems.
Check all the pick'ems, I think. And then we have in 10th place on 30 points, we have the LA Gorillas.
Yikes.
Which, yeah. We'll skip over that one.
Sheesh.
And then at tied 11th and 12th, we have Paris Legion and the New York Subliners, both on 10 points, which is
10 points.
literally one solely win all season for Paris. Obviously, the Subliners have 2, but they were both in
not a major.
the qualifiers, so they only got the 5 points for each win. So technically, New York are sitting above Paris in 11th because they have one more win, but I think that will all change this weekend.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know why I've done that because I just closed my browser and now I've lost everything that I had up there. So give me a second.
Not a problem, mate.
Let me just find where I had.
Fire it up. I think you had something talking about the midnight gaming there, bud.
Yes, I did. Let me just get
That Midnight
back
Society.
to that. Yes.
Society.
So Jake Lucky, who, if you don't know, he is
good
someone
Twitter
who is he's a great Twitter follow because he's always giving a lot of updates regarding not only Call of Duty but all games really.
Yeah.
So yesterday or this morning actually, he tweeted about Dr. Disrespect, who has there was an announcement regarding Midnight Society, which is obviously Dr. Disrespect's gaming company that he is making.
Is he the is he the sole owner?
He is the co-owner. So
Co-owner
there are
with
3 owners
some
of
money?
Midnight Society. So.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what Jake Lucky said. So he said, it is set to be a multiplayer PvP.
For sure.
There will be 10,000 early access NFTs or founders passes priced at $50. Each founder gets a lengthy list of perks, including unique variant skin in design game
Oh
game
boy,
in design in game.
they're making some money.
NFT items in the game will be tradable and sellable, and seems to be the basis of future for the game's economy. Although it is seeing its fair share of backlash, I'm actually generally curious how the game is actually going to turn out itself.
Yeah, right.
He also then went on to say, I'm extremely skeptical about NFTs solely because when games like RuneScape and CSGO started, no one knew how valuable those items and skins would be
Yeah,
worth a decade later.
yeah,
The NFT market is flooded with manipulation and shadiness. I hate to see that ruin Doc's game.
yeah.
Um,
I agree. I mean,
I completely agree with what Jake is saying.
that was the first thing I
Obviously,
thought of was CS:GO skins
yeah.
because that's kind of what it sounds like. But
So there is like he said, there's a lot of backlash
yeah,
regarding it because obviously people are instantly assuming that this game is pay to win. Dr. Disrespect came out on Twitter this afternoon as a reply, not to Jake Sucky, but to everyone else,
yeah, clear the
saying
air.
that um, saying that these NFTs are solely to get this game running.
Yeah,
Basically, these are basically like you are putting in a sponsorship for the game, and you are receiving an in-game item.
yeah. It's like
Um,
a pre-order.
it's like a pre-order, but you are actually investing in the game, basically. So these are going to be 10,000 investments into the game to
What's that
make the game
math? Is
better.
that half a
Uh,
million dollars?
Probably something. Yeah, it's a stupid amount of money. Let's be honest. But for a game that is going to be free to play,
You
that's
said
important.
10,000, right, or 1,000?
10,000.
Yeah, that's half a million.
Yeah. So that's 500,000 that he will put into that game. That will go
No,
into the game.
we. We put in the game. Whoever's buying
Well,
those,
yeah.
yeah,
No, but the money that is made will go into the game to continue to allow it to
yeah,
work on a free-to-play basis. He also did say that all of this, all of the in-game variants of skins
yeah,
and everything like that would not be pay to win.
yeah.
He made that very clear that
Hmm.
it was not going to be pay to win if you get one of these NFTs.
So you get that
They are
rose skin
solely going
out.
to be unique to the person, so that you can kind of feel some pride in being a part of this
So
game
is
company,
it
basically by donating.
one of one? Like, there's only be one skin that you get.
Yep. So it's one of one.
One of one. That is pretty badass, though.
And like you said, it's going to be completely tradable and sellable.
Yeah. As a streamer though, like that'd be kind of sick to have your own skin in game.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
know.
100%.
People
I
know.
do
Oh,
worry.
oh
I
man, that
do
was
worry.
monks.
I do worry that, like Jake said, the NFTs can be corruptible fairly easily.
Yeah.
So I hope that doesn't happen. Obviously, I am excited to see what Doc's game is going to look like. I'm sure of one thing, which is obviously the audio is going to be incredible.
It has to be the best audio game
It has to be the best audio in any game ever made,
ever
or
made.
Doc will never live it down.
Oh, maybe
Uh,
that's why he needs the half a mil. As strictly audio.
possibly. But I think he's hired like some of the best game sound experts to make the best sounding game
I mean,
ever.
that's why he needs all that money. I'm almost skeptical that they're not even going to put a game out. Plenty of people have tried.
I'm very certain that Doc is trying to put a game out there. He is someone who obviously is very well known in the gaming world.
Yeah,
And
two-time.
the two-time, obviously, back to back.
Yeah,
What was it, 93, 94?
something like that.
Blockbuster Gamer of the Year. So
Yeah. Do you see where Blockbuster's
uh,
at?
yeah. Um, moving on. So I think Doc will put out his game. I'm excited to see what it's going to look like. Obviously, I think it's still a little bit out before we're going to see that release of that game, and I'm not even sure. Really, is it going to be a first-person shooter? Is it going what's it going to be? Kind of excited to see what he's got planned.
I mean, I feel like it has to be.
I think it does too. I think it does have to be.
What else do you think?
I mean, the thing is, like, he could go the Fortnite route with it. Go with that third person. But
I doubt it.
I think first-person shooters are the way to go, really.
Yeah.
So I think it will be. I'm just excited to see what happens. So, also another bit of news I have. Obviously, I know it's not strictly gaming, but it's going to be interesting. Obviously, Halo, the game that everyone thought was going to destroy Call of Duty, which is now completely dead.
Didn't we talk about Halo last week?
We did talk about Halo a
We
little bit
touched on it.
last week, but there is a TV series that is coming out on March 24th about Halo. So,
It's Netflix.
for all the Halo fans out there, it's not on Netflix. It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh,
So for all the Halo fans out there, that is coming out next week, 2 weeks time, 2 weeks time. So you've got that to look forward to.
Is it like
I
about the
won't be
game,
watching it.
or is it about like tournaments?
Yeah, so it's kind of like the story of Master Chief. I think is kind of what it's gonna be.
Oh, it's just like lore based.
So yeah, I'm kind of curious, but I'm not at the same time because I was never really into Halo.
Yeah.
But I will say for the Halo fans out there, it does look very good from the trailers of it. But yeah, obviously, game-wise, we spoke about it last week. There's
Nothing's
not a
coming
huge
out.
amount coming out. So we haven't really got a lot to update there. There haven't been any big releases apart from obviously that Doctor Disrespect news.
When can you think we can expect that game? You think it'll be out by the fall?
I think fall of this year. Yeah, maybe Christmas time. It could be even later. I think it will be out by the end of this year for sure.
I don't know. I feel like we'd see some more, or unless they're really holding things close. But I mean, you want to.
I think they're wanting to hold things close. I
Yeah.
don't think they want to give too much away right now. Just mainly on the fact that obviously Doc is someone who is so. I mean, he's one of the biggest creators in the world.
Yeah.
So I think he wants. When he's ready to release stuff about this game, it will come out
That's
and
true.
he will release it. So
Yeah,
I'm
it'll
excited
probably be
to
on
see.
his page. It's kind of smart.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll probably do it on his Twitter and on his YouTube,
On the YouTube.
live probably as well. So
Has anything
I mean,
news came out from his ban? Because I guess apparently he's unbanned or something. Was that real?
he has been unbanned from Twitch. So Twitch streamers are now able to play with Dr. Disrespect, which they weren't obviously previously. Which I think is a massive win for not only Doc but for a lot of Twitch streamers.
Yeah, up and coming Twitch streamers.
I mean, especially someone like Nick Merckx, who obviously Tim now being on YouTube basically has played a lot with Doc.
Yeah.
And Cloaksy as well. So like, whenever those three have played together, Cloaksy hasn't been streaming. Obviously because he wasn't able to play with Doc live on stream. So now with Doc being unbanned, it allows Cloaksy to actually and Nick Merckx to actually stream with Doc playing at the same time.
Do you think that helped Tim decide? Addition to the money he probably got from YouTube, to be like, oh, well, I can just play.
I think it did. I think it did because
Doc.
I think Tim and Doc kind of came through. Not came through together, but
yeah,
they've been very close over the last couple of years, at least. So I think it was an influence. I think Tim definitely probably spoke to the Doc and sort of basically said, "Is it worth me coming over?" And I saw some statistics as well about the Doc and his view time over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
his viewers on YouTube are a lot higher than they were on Twitch. So
so
which is
like
interesting. I didn't expect that.
A good bit on mobile, and YouTube is so much better on mobile. Like if you're not on Wi-Fi and you try to go on the Twitch app, it's just like buffers. It's chalked. It's so bad. But you can go watch any YouTube video. I don't know if their servers are just way better at YouTube. They shouldn't be because Twitch is Amazon owned and they have a billion servers. But like if you're on your phone and you're watching a stream, it's like I turn it off. I'm like, I can't even watch this.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Chat
really
needs to reconnect
Twitch
all the time on the Twitch app
on mobile.
Yeah, it's
but yeah,
chalked.
YouTube is a lot better when it comes to it. while we're on the topic of streaming platforms, um, possibly a new contender on the block
Yeah,
for
new kid on the block.
streamers. So there is a new platform, or it's in beta currently, called Trovo. Uh,
Trovo.
Trovo. It's still obviously in beta, so not many streamers are on it right now. Um, but those who are seem to be getting some kind of decent
I think it might be
views.
Spanish or
Um,
something.
it looks like it might be Spanish,
Yeah.
so it could be a Spanish streaming platform. But there are obviously US English speakers, English speaking streamers on there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to see if that takes off.
It might be more
And
app based, which would probably lean right into what I was saying.
mm, yeah, it does look like it's something that for mobile
Yeah.
is going to be a lot better. I mean, there are a couple of games. Obviously, Call of Duty Mobile looks really popular on there.
Yeah.
I think obviously it looks like Grand Theft Auto 5, which obviously is massively popular on Twitch.
Oh yeah. Little role play,
Is
little RP.
little RP is popular on there as well. So and then obviously you've got the just chatting side, which is always popular on whatever platform
Yeah, they
for
got
some reason.
little ear licking going on, probably.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But
But probably somewhere deep in the
if somebody's gonna
depths.
make any money, why not?
Right. Yeah. So, also, we did have some Call of Duty 2022 leaks that came out.
Okay.
So, um,
Do we have
things
a
that
war? Or?
we don't really know what in terms of like where it's going to be based or anything like that. However, what has kind of been leaked is basically all the maps, multiplayer maps, are going to be 3-lane, which is pretty standard in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Um, we are not going to have any sliding apparently in the
Huh?
game, so the slide cancels will be gone.
Get out of here.
It is obviously going to be built on a completely new engine. We already knew that. And it's going to be built alongside Warzone 2. So for Warzone 2, obviously that looks like we could be getting a release early 2023 for that.
And no sliding then in Warzone, right?
And it will be a completely new engine for Warzone, new guns, obviously. None of the old stuff will carry over. So exciting. Oh, honestly, the slide cancel meta will be gone.
Now it's all about jumping.
So the jump shots will be in. Also, there are a couple of supposed maps that will be returning for Modern Warfare 2022. Favela is one of them, which is a great map, obviously set in Brazil. High Rise as well. Shipment, which is obviously in pretty much
Classic.
every Call of Duty now.
Yeah.
Terminal, which is an old favorite, will be returning.
Oh, I wonder if they just bring Call of Duty or like that, like into CDL.
I think it's going to be a lot of Modern Warfare maps that will come.
Isn't that what
come
it
in.
is? Modern Warfare, like, is it like remastered?
It's supposed to be a carry-on from Modern Warfare 2019.
Okay.
So it's meant to be just like the next step, basically, or the next part of the story.
Just slap on
and then
some
the
new
final map
graphics.
that will be returning is Quarry as well. So a couple of fan favorite maps will be returning. It looks like basically what they're going to do is basically remake or remaster all of the old Modern Warfare maps throughout history and put them in this new game. So, which is not going to be I mean, it could be seen as a bad thing because I'm sure they will bring out new maps for sure.
Yeah.
They will create new maps.
Well, I
but,
guess it sounds like they're probably just focusing on the new engine, you know,
I think that's the main thing. They're really trying to focus on the engine.
and then put the
The thing I
map
worry,
on it.
obviously, from a CDL standpoint, is none of those maps are any good for competitive. So that slightly does worry me. Is where are we going to be in terms of CDL and ranked play? With which maps are we going to see? Are we going to see some brand new maps maybe come in for that? I hope we do see new maps, obviously, for ranked play and the CDL.
Yeah.
And I hope when that will start, there are enough maps. I hope they don't have the same situation they did this year with only having 2 control maps.
Yeah.
I think they have 3 or 4 hardpoint maps, and then 3 or 4 hard search and destroy as well. So I hope there's a little more variation in there, so they can change it up a little bit and actually keep it fresh, especially as we're looking to be on this game for 2 years. That's the big thing, is obviously we're not going to get a new card at the end of the year. So the CDL is going to have to last for 2 years on this game. So you need that variation in there so the game doesn't get stale.
Yeah.
The players don't get bored playing it, and the fans don't get bored watching it.
Need to have fun playing it.
For sure.
We're running into that right now, and we're only sliding into Major 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how many hours they've logged, though.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's a still stupid amount. Let's go with that one.
Dumb amount. All right, dude. Well, that's all. You got anything else? I got nothing else.
For me, that's it today. We covered a lot, actually.
Lock it in. We did.
We definitely had a good one. So, Monks, where can they find you?
Hit me up, dude. Send the smoke signals out. I'm looking at the sky, I'm hanging out. I'm talking to strangers, doing what I do. Monks_blood. Hit me up on Twitter, dude. Give me a follow on Twitter and Twitch. I need to start pumping something out on the old YouTubes, if you know what I'm saying.
I need to get my YouTube content going. I'm gonna have to speak to Metro about that. Honestly,
It takes a little bit.
Maybe get him to make some videos for me.
Yeah, for sure. Where can they find you, Daddy-O?
So I am Illing96 on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube.
All right. We'll see you next week.
I'll keep it sweet. I'm not going to talk about talking to strangers and things like that.
Yeah, I'll talk to a stranger.
Yeah, we will see you next week for a recap of week 2.
Week 2.
And then we will look ahead to week 3, and hopefully we will have some more gaming news to bring to you as well. So have a great weekend. Enjoy the Call of Duty action this weekend, please. I hope you do tune into the CDL this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, hope you have a good one. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
And peace.